Well, hello everybody. This is Dear Mama Sal, and it's Sunday, and it is exactly 12:18. And what I wanted to do was to show you how to cook, for those of you who might not know, how to cook a really good fried egg, sunny side up but done. I think the biggest fear everybody has is eating a half raw egg when you're doing a sunny side up. And there is actually a very easy way of doing it, and what I thought I would do is do it and do it slowly and time it and show you exactly all the stages that the egg goes through. So first of all, as you can see, I put a little bit of B-cell. It doesn't matter whether you use butter or margarine, whatever you want. So what you want is something in the bottom of the pan, and just leave it in there long enough for it to get hot. In other words, that it's bubbling, and just want to make sure that I'm covering all levels of cooking here. So basically what you're looking for is for the butter or margarine to be bubbling, which that is doing. And obviously if you're using a margarine, it has a different consistency from butter, but you can see here that it actually is bubbling. Let me make sure you can see that. See that? Okay, so what I've done is I've actually taken 2 eggs and I've put them in a ramekin. I just find that the easiest way to do it, so you can tell whether you've accidentally cracked an egg or not. So now it's 12:20 and I'm putting the eggs into a hot pan, and you can see that it's hot enough because it's instantly beginning to cook. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to zoom in here because I want you to see what happens to the egg itself, and quite honestly, if you don't watch it carefully you won't see what's happening. Alright, so I'm going to turn the camera off for a little while, let it cook for a little bit, and then I'll show you what's happening. Alright? Okay, I'll check with you in a sec. So now we're at 12:21, and the egg white is looking pretty good, but I don't know if you can see, but it's still looking a little translucent. It's not white yet on the edges, and you can see that the egg white on the edge is getting pretty well cooked, but we want that to be very well cooked because we want the egg inside to have cooked as well. Now what you're going to notice, and you probably start seeing it now, it's interesting if you might never have noticed this, but do you see there's a slight white bit starting to form right here? And if you look very carefully, I wonder if it'll do the focus that close, maybe not. But if you look very carefully, there are bubbles starting to form in the center of, I guess you can see that, right? In the center of the egg itself. Now that means that the actual yolk itself is beginning to cook. And if you look at this egg, you can see that happening here. But what I want you to concentrate on is this. I mean, you always get this little albumin bit here, but it's this extra piece that is starting to cook from here. And what's happening in the center. Now these are born eggs, so they're unusually orange in color, which I love. They're omega-3 eggs. But you can see now how the center is beginning to really start to cook. And by now, all the egg white itself, we're now at 12:24, or the egg white itself has now cooked. So I know we're getting close. Now, it's beginning to splutter and do fun things. Oops, and you can probably see that this egg now is also beginning to get bubbles in the actual yolk itself. And this one here definitely is doing quite a bit of good work. So the ideal situation that we want is that the egg is cooked but still a little bit runny. And that's what we're going for. Now if you look at the outside, see this now? This is really getting very well cooked on the outside. So we're getting very, very close. And at this stage, it's just a case of how well do you like your eggs done. If you wanted to have sunny side down, there's an easy way of doing that. You just take your ramekin and you put it over the egg. I'm just going to separate it. Okay, so now what we're doing is we're containing the heat inside the ramekin. And so we've got one that's sunny side up, and in a little while we're going to have one that's going to cook from the top down. So that one won't have as much egg yolk in it. Of course, I hope it'll come out. I'm going to loosen it a little bit. Make sure it wants to come out again. Okay. So this egg is just about done. You can tell when it's getting done because you can move it around easily. If you can move it like this without any problem at all, it means that the bottom of it is cooked. If it's sticking, you know that you need to leave it for a little bit longer. Okay, so this egg, as far as I'm concerned, is ready to go. So I'm going to take that out of the pan. Put it on a plate. Let's see how this one's doing. Yep, it's cooking well. So we're now at 12:26, and this egg, the first egg that I took out, should be perfectly cooked now. Let's have a look at it. So and perfectly cooked means that when I cut it, it's still a little bit runny, which it is, but the bottom of it is solid, well cooked. Beautiful egg, ideal. Now with my other egg, whoops, I don't want to leave it any longer because I don't want to overcook it. But just by putting the ramekin over the top of it, you can see that it started to cook from the top down. And had I really wanted an easy over egg, I could have done it, just put the ramekin on a bit earlier. But you can see the amount of white that there is on the top now, which was way more than this one. But again, it's cooked. The bottom is cooked. That means that this egg yolk is cooked, but it's still a little bit runny, which makes it fun to eat. And there you go, it's 12:28, done. 2 beautifully cooked eggs. Okay everybody, so Zaki just brought me up such a cool present to play with, because you know the kid in me likes to play. And so I said, what is it? And he said, a lightsaber. And I said, how does it work? And he said, you just do. How cool is that? Awesome.